What is the story right now, would you say, overarching story about this baseball season to date, Jeff Passan?
Well, as someone who works at a company that has occasionally been accused of coastal bias, I feel like saying New York and L.A. is kind of trite. Mm-hmm. But I live in Kansas City, Rich, so I can actually say it without being accused of having coastal bias. I am a Midwesterner born, bred, and true. And to me, the story of the baseball season is how good the Yankees, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Angels are, and whether we're setting ourselves up for some kind of a coastal World Series or if the Houston Astros or Milwaukee Brewers or somebody else can interrupt that dream. The Yankees have been the best team in baseball this year. Hasn't really been close, frankly. And they've done it because they've been healthy, because they remade the left side of their infield and catching, and because they have extremely deep pitching. And I think the job Aaron Boone, who's been so maligned, has done is phenomenal. At the same time, Buck Showalter's really helped turn around the Mets, though without Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer for upward of 2 months now, we're going to see what they're really made of. The Dodgers are the Dodgers. They're great. They were always going to be great. It's just a matter of, are they going to come through in October? Because they will be there. But the Angels are the most surprising team, I think, which is odd to think because they have the two best players in the world in Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. So, yeah, they should be good. But Major League Baseball is not the NBA where two superstars will get you to the conference finals. It's not the NFL where you need one quarterback and that'll get you into the playoffs. No, it's a sport where even with two great players, you can still be a middling, mediocre team if you don't have other elements. And the elements that the Angels have added are pitching and defense, and both of those have held up through about a quarter of the season. The question at this point is, will it hold up over the last three quarters?
And, Aaron Judge, the Yankees are also lucky to have him. And by that, I mean not just about how good he is, but I'm from New York City. I've seen many, many talented players in a Yankee uniform wilt under the pressure of either being paid or, in his case, not being or being ready to be handsomely enriched, and him saying, no, it's not enough. And those guys usually get chewed up and spat out, and he is the best he's ever been. And I'm wondering where you think that's headed, Jeff Passan, with Judge.
If Aaron Judge stays healthy, Rich, that's headed for a contract that starts with a 3. And remember, Aaron Judge turned down an extension this offseason of about $230 million that would have included this year. Would have been 8 years including this year for about $230. So a 7-year extension on top of this season. With what he's doing right now, the question is going to be just how high it goes if he can, again, stay healthy for the entire season. Because when he's out there, this has always been the case, Rich. When Aaron Judge is on the field, he's productive. He's good. Doesn't matter that he's a little older. Doesn't matter that the end of whatever contract he signs is probably not going to look particularly good. This is baseball. And the teams like the Yankees and theoretically like the Mets or the Giants or the Cubs who have money and want to go out and win are going to look at Aaron Judge's next 4 to 5 years and say, as you get into your mid-30s, this is what we're paying you for. And essentially we're going to have more years on the back end of the contract so we can get you for the first few years. But, I spoke with someone with the Yankees earlier this year during the Judge stuff, and he essentially said, you know what? He has to go out there and illustrate that he's worth what he thinks he is. And if he does, then I understand. We took a risk. We didn't go high enough, and we will look into paying him more. And the way it's going right now, Rich, Aaron Judge has been the best hitter in baseball this season, and we see what happens when he's out there and when Giancarlo Stanton is out there and healthy. The Yankees are formidable and have an offense that's borderline devastating.
Well, is it guaranteed that Judge would accept that contract with a 3 from the Yankees? Or is there some sort of, to again mix sports, some sort of Devontae Adams homecoming, like that he'd want to go back, to the Giants or or California or anything like that? Jeff?
When you perform in New York, I think this goes across all sports. When you perform in New York and are embraced by New York, it's really difficult to leave New York if New York offers you the most money or offers you somewhere in that range. So unless we have a team that's going to be excessively aggressive financially, if the Yankees are in at that price, being a Yankee for life is a thing. Like it's a thing that we last saw with Jeter and with Bernie Williams and with Mariano Rivera and with Jorge Posada. There's cachet to that. There's just a feeling that I think those players get that are different from everyone else. When you say, and listen, this goes outside of New York too, right? When somebody spends an entire career in one uniform, it's special. In the age of free agency, it is. And if Aaron Judge were to return to the Yankees or were to sign an extension, he would more or less be guaranteeing that.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.